Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, welcome back to the College Town Podcast. My name is Derek DeBurger. With me is Sam Roth.
How we doing?
Today we talk about the fact that people finally care about basketball again.
Yes, they do.
We talk about Kentucky's struggles and what that might mean for John Calipari. Is his seat hot? We complain about women's basketball officiating because it's very frustrating. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. And we also dive into the coaching carousel that somehow is still continuing
Yes.
in college football.
Then
with
yes.
Chip Kelly leaving UCLA.
UCLA. That's a wild situation.
And then
also, before we do our pick'ems, we did a tier list of what we think the top programs in college basketball are.
Historically speaking,
a continuation of our argument from last week. And then, of course, on our Instagram, you can check out our top 25 for baseball. The season's about to start. We forgot to talk about that in this episode.
Yeah, but here we are talking about it.
But it's up there if you want to just look at an image. So, all right. We'll see you in the episode.
Bye, guys.
Finally, people care about college basketball.
It sure has happened.
The Super Bowl happened.
Congratulations to the Chiefs.
Yeah. Congratulations to Taylor Swift. Finally, people care about college basketball.
So, what do they need to know about college basketball?
Well,
who's good? Who's not?
Yeah, no, I mean, what is it? Houston's really good. UConn's number one.
Purdue's decent.
Purdue's very good. They're probably gonna have the Player of the Year again.
Absolutely, back to back for him.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I'm not as knowledgeable about the Player of the Naismith Award in basketball as I am the Heisman. Yeah, just because there's not as much prestige around it.
Yeah.
But
it's seeming
I'm
like
sure
it's
there's been
Edie's
someone
award.
who's I'm sure there's been someone who's won it multiple times.
Sure.
In basketball, right?
Probably.
I feel like that's much more common than football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
and then you also got
Marquette's trending.
Are they now?
Oh, Marquette, they have one of the longer winning streaks in the country right now.
Oh, there you go.
I think they've won 8 in a row.
Marquette looking good. The SEC is still very much up for grabs in the regular season. It seems like it's becoming a 3-horse race now with
Alabama, Auburn,
Tennessee. That's what I would say. Maybe South Carolina. South Carolina is a sneaky good team.
Well,
now.
Yeah, they're sitting at like second, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't count them out. Houston is in first place right now, but Iowa State, sneaky good team right now.
Kansas is also good.
Kansas is good too. I believe the 3 seed right now.
They're good. Yeah.
And then out west you have Arizona. Metrically looks good. Finds a way to beat good teams. Loses to bad teams. So we'll see what we can do.
Pac-12 sucks though. So
it is interesting. Yeah.
It's not in its final year, as we know it. It is not very good.
And then the mid tier of the Big Ten is hard to pick.
Big Ten's not very good.
I mean, you got Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan State. It's like who's the second best team right now?
Here's what I want to talk about though.
Go for it.
A team that most people come March just kind of automatically move into like the Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just automatically put them in their Final Four. Kentucky. They are struggling.
They don't really have a defense. The offense is phenomenal, though.
It's not even that they don't really have a defense. They don't have a defense.
No.
It's awful.
Watching a Kentucky game is like watching an NBA game because the score is outrageous. It is getting into the 90s and 80s. It's something that you normally don't see in college sports like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they recently lost at home to Gonzaga. It's their third home loss in a row.
Since the 1960s.
Yeah. Since 1966, it's their first time losing 3 home games in a row since 1966. Second time overall in the program. First time since Rupp Arena has been built. Dang. So it's not okay.
What is crazy, though, is the talent is there.
Oh, my God. They've got like 7 NBA guys.
Oh, yeah. Now, will they all go this year? Probably not. But the talent is most definitely there. No, they can't find a way to make it happen on defense, though. The offense is electric, though.
Yeah, it's just like... And also, did you watch the game against
I did.
Gonzaga?
I watched a little bit.
Okay.
I watched the first half.
First half? Okay, let me tell you what happened in the second half. The final 10.5 minutes of the game, and this is not an exaggeration either, the final 10.5 minutes of the game, whenever Gonzaga was on offense, they ran the same exact play every single time. And they only didn't score 3 times. That's how bad Kentucky's defense is right now. And on top of that, their offense, there's not much bad you can say about the offense.
No.
But if you can stop their transition, and force them to a half court, they're not as effective.
Right.
So there's a clear formula for beating Kentucky.
And
right
also
now.
just add Gonzaga this year, for all you all who haven't been paying attention to college sports, in my personal opinion, is not very good.
They're okay. They're not. They don't have a bench.
They're not the Gonzaga standard that they are. You know.
No, they're not.
No, and from the recent years of Mark Few, where they're Elite Eight, Final Four teams, from what you will, up until this game, I had a true belief that if they didn't win this game, they are looking at not getting an automatic bid to the tournament. They would have to win the WCC.
Yeah, and even then, if Kentucky keeps floundering, this is going to turn into a quad 2 win. Probably not. I think it'll remain a quad 1.
Right.
They're currently 1-5 in quad 1 wins.
Gonzaga,
they still have,
that is.
Yeah, they would still have to beat San Francisco at San Francisco and St. Mary's at St. Mary's to get a couple more quad 1 wins. And so I think they have to win out the regular season to guarantee themselves and
if they don't win their tournament.
Yeah, to guarantee themselves an at-large bid.
To be fair to them, if they do what they're supposed to do and be the 2 seed and St. Mary's is the 1 seed, they would only have to win 2 games to get to the final because of the way their bracket is structured.
Because it's a small conference.
It sure is. Well, no. It's like the 1 and 2s are like in the semifinals, the 3 and 4s are in the quarters, and it's a weird bracket that just goes on back. So to where the regular season
it's because it's a small conference.
Exactly.
There's only 9 teams.
Right.
But so because of the loss to Gonzaga now, the heat that we talked about last week about Calipari's job, it's just getting hotter.
They can't afford it. The only way that
literally speaking, they can't afford it. I'm gonna put that out right there. Put that out there right now.
They won't pull the trigger.
I agree with you, but it's getting toxic. It's getting bad. It's getting very bad, and to the point where, I mean, Kentucky has a pretty tough regular season schedule to end it out.
Yeah.
There's a potential that they go 3-5 through the rest of the regular season.
That puts them at 20-12. They're 17-7.
It gives them 11 or 12 losses.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't think that's an at-large bid.
I don't know. I think you have to compare resumes.
But also, let's say they go 5-3. That's still not good. They go 5-3 though. What are you looking at? An 8 seed?
Yeah, probably.
Then you have to play a 9 seed. That's not going to be tough. If you win that game, you're going to have to play a 1 seed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If they don't make it to the Sweet 16, if they don't make it to the second weekend, Big Blue Nation is going to be up in arms. There will be couches on fire in Lexington.
Well, that's for a different reason, I thought, in Lexington.
They normally do it for wins, yeah. Because
But hey,
it's a city of more culture down there.
I mean, the SEC is a tough conference this year.
It's kind of tough. It's not as good as it has been the past couple of years.
I think it's a pretty good conference.
I think it's down from the last couple of years.
I mean, it's the second best conference in basketball right now?
I don't think so.
I don't think that's a hot take at all.
I think it's Big 12 and Big East.
No.
I think the Big East is good.
The Big East has, other than Creighton, and you could even throw Creighton in there almost right now because of the way they're trending, other than Marquette and UConn, every other team in there that is supposed to be a tournament hopeful is a bubble team.
Yeah, but they're good.
Yeah, but you're saying the same thing about the SEC, which I completely disagree with. I mean, let's look at it. Alabama's a tournament team. Auburn's a tournament team. Tennessee's a tournament team. You've got
Kentucky might not be.
A&M right now is a tournament team.
Yeah, but they have 8 losses right now. They don't have a great record.
I mean, they're winning games. Ole Miss is a tough one. I think they'll be a tournament team.
They're not trending in the right direction.
I mean, still,
I think if you were to do it right now, A&M, Kentucky, and Ole Miss are all in the field.
Yeah.
They could all 3 play themselves out.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the talent in the SEC is better than the Big East right now.
All right, I'll give you that. But no, it's not. People are not happy with John Calipari, and the thing is, what you're hearing a lot of local people say is that if they don't make the second weekend, then Cal's got to go, which they can't afford it. I don't think they will do it because that's like $60 million they have to pay.
And you also got to go get another coach for $8 or $9 million a year.
Yeah, and so it would completely hamstring their entire athletic department. I don't think they're going to do that.
Well, why would you?
To win now, I don't know.
I mean, like, you still got to recruit.
Yeah, but look, it's Kentucky. They're going to recruit without Cal. They're just not going to recruit at the same level. It's the same way that Duke is still getting 5 stars. John Shire's not a good coach. I'm saying that now. I'm prepared to say that. I've seen enough. I don't think he's that good. He's fine. But he's not that good.
Man.
He's just not a good X's and O's guy. And so it's Duke. They're going to continue to get talent. But they get talent without him, too. Same thing with Kentucky. Except Cal's a very good recruiter, so they're not going to get as much talent without him, but they'll still get talent. Mm-hmm. All right. Any other games, teams you want to talk about?
I mean, other than just like shifting over to the women's.
Yeah.
I mean, because basically right now you've got the 2 seed in Iowa lost, the 3 seed in NC State has lost, and the 4 seed in Colorado has lost. And then South Carolina
Number 4 ranked. They're not seeds yet.
My apologies.
Yeah.
And then you also got the number 1 ranked team destroyed UConn. Just blew them out.
Yeah, I know. They're better than everyone else. And it's crazy.
Yeah. It is South Carolina's year, it seems like. I mean, like, Iowa needs to close out games. They gave up 27 points in the fourth quarter to their 10 to lose that game in Omaha. Virginia Tech's looking very nice.
Yeah.
I'll back you up on this one. We had a little bit of an argument over.
We've been having an argument for like 3 months.
It wasn't necessarily an argument. It's just that I've been ranking teams better than Virginia Tech. And one example being Oregon State, who beat the number 4 team, Colorado.
Oregon State has had 2 very good weeks. I'll give you that.
They just beat Utah and they just beat Oregon State.
Colorado.
Oh my gosh.
They beat Colorado and Utah, yeah. And then the week before they beat UCLA and
USC maybe?
They had fantastic couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Oregon State looks very good.
But the game that we really want to get to, because we're biased, is we're Louisville fans. And
it's not even biased. I think it's a story.
It's
absolutely a story. So the Louisville-Syracuse game, 2 top 25 teams, 2 good teams.
Top part of the ACC right now.
Yeah. Yeah, number 2 and number 3, before and after the game. Yeah.
Because it's Virginia Tech, Syracuse, us?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So the game ends up coming down to the wire. Louisville's up by 1 point with 30 seconds left.
With 1 foul to give.
I think we had 2 fouls to give. But we had at least 1 foul to give.
Right.
I think it was 2. But that's semantics. That's not important. What ends up happening is Louisville does a pretty good job on defense. And then the clock gets down to about 5 seconds left. Deasia Fair, Syracuse best player, has the ball. She drives in. Olivia Cochran for Louisville fouls her to stop the clock. We had a foul to give. Stops the clock with 2.3 seconds left. Now they got to inbound the ball. And then it's going to be much, much harder to score off of that.
But that's not what was called.
What ends up happening is the referee called an intentional foul, which never gets called, ever.
Which is what happened.
Yeah, but it never gets called.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is because it's an intentional foul, it doesn't matter that we had fouls to give.
It's 2 shots on the ball.
It's 2 shots and possession of the ball. So basically, that gives Syracuse a 1-point lead after being down 1, and then they get to inbound the ball to run out the clock. And it didn't even give Louisville a chance to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, oh boy, Louisville's head coach was not happy.
Jeff Walz basically came out and was like, I don't care. I'm taking the fine or whatever. This has got to change. This always happens where with 2 minutes left in the game, you intentionally foul, and it never gets called.
Yeah. I mean, he had some fantastic quotes about it. He started off his press conference by saying, it's a god-awful call. It's absolutely terrible officiating. They should be embarrassed. And then talks about how officials, there should be suspensions and fines for officials if they're that egregious, which I do agree to, to a certain extent. They should be full-time employees.
Yeah.
But, like, if they're not full-time employees, don't fine them. I say suspend them. I don't care. But, and then what else did he say? He said something about, I think my favorite line of his whole post game was like, "It's a terrible call. It was a screw job. Whatever you want to call it. Put my name to it." Which is, I mean, it's great. He's not wrong. And this is the problem with women's basketball. It's not the game. Basketball's basketball. If you love basketball, you're gonna watch basketball. It's great.
Right.
Caitlin Clark's the biggest star in all of college basketball right now.
Yep.
Arguably college sports. I think you can make that debate because Kayla Williams is gone.
Even then.
So, I mean, yeah. But the game is growing actively. It's actively growing. But you're going to alienate people if the officiating is always bad. Last year's national championship between LSU and Iowa, it was the most viewed in history, and people complained about it because for a lot of people it's their first time watching women's college basketball, and they were like, "Oh my God, the officiating is terrible. This is atrocious."
Mm-hmm.
And so it was such widespread criticism that the NCAA eventually had to do some like kind of half-hearted like, "Oh, we look back and there's a few mistakes," and it's like, no, there's way more than a few, and that's every single.
Well, they did
game.
the report, independent report on like the national championship game, on like there was like 23 missed calls or something.
It's a lot, but then an anonymous referee went back and reviewed it and was like, no, they're lying about how many missed calls there were. There was a lot more than that.
Right.
And then he also went into specific detail about which calls were wrong. The NCAA didn't do that, and so like. If the officiating's bad, you can't just turn on a random game of like, I don't know, let's give a random example, like number 22 Creighton versus Villanova. They're playing at Villanova. You see on the ESPN app it's close, so you turn it on. You can't just turn on a random game if the officiating is just, it makes the game unwatchable. And yes, I am furious about this because Syracuse still could have won had they not called that an intentional foul. I'm not even going to pretend like they couldn't have, but that just screwed Louisville out of a chance of having a shot at winning the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's awful.
So what do you view the rule as? Do you think that that's something that should be enforced more? Or do you think it should be, that's the way the game has been, keep it as is? That shouldn't be an intentional foul there.
I don't think that should be an intentional foul. They actually called an intentional foul earlier in the game. I was not happy about it because it was against Louisville, but I do, on my own time, I complain about that when I watch basketball. You know when there's like a jump ball, two people are going for it, and then one of the players ends up like just swinging their arms like that,
yeah,
trying to hit the other person away with their elbow.
I think
that happens a lot.
I don't think it's someone intentionally trying to hit someone with their elbow.
I don't mean like head or shoulder.
No,
just like their arms. Hit
no, I think it's more of just trying to pull someone away from the ball and get. So like if you watch,
I think there's that too.
I think it's just pulling away from the ball to get possession of the ball.
I think there is that too, but I also think that I think people do try to hit people sometimes.
I don't think so.
Yes, they absolutely do.
No, I don't think so.
It's a game that gives people a pass to act a little childish sometimes. Of course they try to hit people.
No, I don't think so.
All right, well, we're not going to agree on that. This is not going to turn into a Blue Buds debate. But no, the foul, the call was terrible. What needs to happen, so in response to the terrible officiated national championship game last year, what they did was they're like, oh, we're going to put more of an effort into officiating, and they just started paying officials more. But they didn't make them full-time employees. They didn't train them any better. They didn't get better referees. They just took the same bad ones and paid them more. How does that incentivize them to be better? It doesn't. And they need to be full-time employees so that when things like this happen, you can reprimand them.
Is there a guideline where you can't reprimand them if they're part-time?
No, I don't know. It's just if it's part-time, they're doing it for extra money. That's the only thing.
Well, to be fair, they really can't be full-time employees because from October to March, what do they do? I mean, outside of October to March. Like you have April through September, what do they do?
The NBA has full-time employees as referees.
Yeah, but also the money that's probably coming in to that sport allows that to be a possibility.
You can pay them $50,000 a year. That's a livable wage. Not, I mean, barely, but like it is.
Yeah, but you're also talking about a sport that's not turning a profit. So how do you find that money to allocate?
Men's basketball is turning a profit.
Yeah, but
it makes a ton of money.
I'm just saying, from a business standpoint, how do you allow that for both sports of women and men too?
Every sport that isn't college basketball or college football doesn't make money for the NCAA.
So where are you going to get $50K for each official? You have 3 officials per game.
A lot of these officials are conference officials.
I know.
The ACC can pay them. The SEC can pay them. The Big Ten makes $1 billion a year. They can pay them. And if you increase the quality of the sport, more people will watch it. You will get better ratings. You will make more money. You gotta look. Broke money don't make none. Okay, scared money don't make none. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Scared money don't make none.
All right.
It's ridiculous. And yeah, I just don't know how you can. I don't know how you can expect anyone to watch women's basketball if you don't prioritize it.
Because it's not the priority.
But you know what I mean, dog. All
right. Well, what do you want to go on to next? What's exciting and fun for you?
Let's keep on women's basketball.
All right.
Gino Auriemma, he made some comments about how he will never catch Tara Vanderveer in all-time wins. And he's currently 3rd all-time, most wins of college basketball history.
Either he knows that, yeah.
Yeah, behind Tara Vanderveer and Coach K.
Either he knows that she's going longer than he is, or that he's done.
Yeah. And I think it's the latter. Well, I've thought for a while like his days are numbered, not because they're not winning at a high level anymore.
Well, I mean, it's hard to be what they were in the early 2000s,
especially with the way the game has
changed.
changed.
They were winning 120 games straight, like
yeah,
unheard of records that will probably never be broken.
No,
or come close to it.
No, it never will be. Yeah,
right. I mean, that's dominance at the highest level.
Yeah,
and
so.
We'll see. So here's a question for you. UConn, obviously the blue of the bluest bloods in women's basketball.
That is it's not even close to being touched by the air of mortal man. You're right about that.
So what mortal man or woman will take over? Or who would be the candidate? You got your creme de la creme, the cream of the crop when it comes to it, other than I would say Dawn Staley is the only one that's pretty much off limits. I think anyone would be chomping at the bit to take that job.
Yeah, pretty much anyone. I mean, there's a few people that I think wouldn't. People that like have ties to their school. Or their state.
Who are built something for a while. Like Tara Vanderveer, she's towards the end. She's staying at Stanford. She's not going to go.
Plus, she's got like, I don't know, 3 seasons left or whatever it is.
See, yeah.
You
and
know?
Then
like, why if Auriemma does retire after this year, why would you go after someone who's going to?
Well, who's the hot young coach right now?
Dawn Staley.
Could you imagine?
That'd be ridiculous.
That would be insane.
Lose my mind.
No, I think she's got some good going in South Carolina, and I don't see her leaving.
I don't see her leaving either. But it's
got to be buku bucks to get her to move.
If I am UConn, I'm calling her.
Yeah, see if she picks up the phone.
Yeah, definitely. Whoever the top assistant is at UConn, they're probably going to give them a look. And honestly, I would imagine that's who they go with.
Or what's the coaching tree like?
I don't know.
You know, of Auriemma. I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could get someone like Vic Schaefer for Texas.
Yeah. Good old Mississippi State guy.
Mm-hmm.
That was the name that popped up in my head, too.
Yeah. I think... I mean, who else is out there?
I'm trying to think. Iowa's coach?
She's old. She's been there for a while.
I mean, there's this one girl down in LSU who likes money.
Who's a monster, yeah. Yeah, the devil. Yeah.
Good old Kim Mulkey.
She's
put together good teams.
I know. It's because she sold her soul. She sold her soul to herself. She keeps it on her desk as a little trophy. You ever seen Pulp Fiction?
Sure have.
You know when they open up the briefcase?
It's just a light.
Yeah, it's just a light. That's it. That's what they offered her. That's what they offered her to
become a good basketball coach.
When she was at Baylor, they lifted open the briefcase, and they're like, "Look, it's another soul that you can sell to the devil for another championship." And she's like, "Yeah, I'll sell a second soul. I don't care whose it is."
Oh my God.
It's probably Brittany Griner's too. Like,
that explains why Brittany was locked up in Russia for a while.
it also explains why she was like, "I don't care. I literally don't care that she's in a Russian prison."
Did she say that?
In so many words, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she's a terrible human.
Oh my God.
Like, she's a nightmare person. Like,
Okay.
she's anyway.
But
UConn's they're not getting Mulkey.
who are the top programs? NC State's coach?
Westmore. Maybe it's kind of in the same line as Vic Schaefer, except if I had a choice between the two, I would go after Schaefer first.
Let me see. Who else is good? UCLA's coach? USC's coach?
I don't know if USC's coach has, especially not UCLA's coach. They kind of just got Lauren Betts, and all of a sudden they're really good.
Yeah.
USC's coach,
Which
I don't know if she has a long enough track record. Niele Ivey, maybe.
Kansas State, maybe.
I think they could go after Niele Ivey.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she has a connection to Notre Dame. Kara Lawson's someone who I love. I think she is a rising star in the coaching ranks.
Yeah. She was a pundit for so long, though.
She was fantastic, though. I think give it time, I think Duke will be very good at women's basketball because of Kara Lawson.
All right.
Yeah. But I think what they'll probably end up doing is they'll probably just promote an assistant.
It'll be interesting.
I don't know if they have the same AD.
Or they just hire a former player.
That's what they did with Kevin Ollie whenever Calhoun was forced into retirement.
Yeah. And then Kemba Walker rode Kemba Walker's cape to a national championship.
Shabazz Napier.
My bad.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's that. Do have some news though, some fun little news.
Yeah.
Talking football, because that always rears its ugly head. I love football, don't get me wrong. I love football. It's just,
You make it sound like the ugly stepchild right now.
It's basketball season. I want to talk about basketball.
Super Bowl's over. Here's some more football news.
Yeah, so Chip Kelly, this is the craziest thing. So we talked last week, Jeff Hafley left Boston College to be the Packers defensive coordinator, which is insane. We had a conversation about how people just don't want to be head coaches in college.
They don't, because I think the NFL's an easier path now, coaching-wise. It used to be the exact opposite, but now with NIL, it's like...
Yeah, and so people just don't want to be head coaches anymore. I think a lot of people just, like, it's not what they signed up for.
Yeah.
Like, literally 5 years ago was completely different.
Yep. You kind of knew what your roster was year in and year out.
Yeah,
now you don't.
Yeah, you didn't have to recruit your own people as much. You didn't have to worry about.
You don't have to worry about a third string. So here's a story. The third string, Rutgers coach was on a podcast. I forget his name.
Football?
Yeah.
Greg Schiano.
Yeah, he was talking about on how. He goes, now I got third string running back saying I need 100,000, otherwise I'm entering the portal. And he's like, I don't know where you think this money's coming from, but.
Yeah, no, like,
and he's like, according to him, it's gone from a team sport to an individual sport.
I think in some people's mind, yeah, I'm not gonna dispute that.
Yeah,
to a degree.
But anyway, this has had a ripple effect to everything.
Yeah. Bill O'Brien, who had just been hired
as the offensive
coordinator for Ohio State, then took the job at Boston College, which I think that's a very good hire, personally.
Oh, yeah,
I think he's a great college coach.
Good offensive mind.
And then all of a sudden, Ohio State had a vacancy at offensive coordinator. Who do they get? None other than head coach of UCLA, Chip Kelly. That's insane.
I've never heard of a coach who was a head coach, a sitting head coach, not getting fired or anything.
He was kind of on the hot seat, but I don't think it was justified.
No, but he was a sitting head coach in the same conference as Ohio State, and he goes to become the offensive coordinator of another team in the same conference.
That's wild.
I've never heard of this before.
He took a downgrade to not be the head coach of a school. Like,
And
that's
also-
insane.
But also, I looked at it, and I'm like, it really makes sense. This could save his career. Because the next year, with his UCLA squad that he has, going to the Big Ten, they probably will go 2-10.
If he was the coach, no.
No, I'm saying like they will probably go 2-10
Without him? Are you saying that with or without him?
Both.
I don't agree with him. I think
Really?
he's too good a coach.
But without him,
Yeah, no, they're not in a good position right now.
no, and
Especially if everyone leaves.
but also think about it. If he does stay and they go 4-8, 2-10, which I think is where they are right now.
Yeah.
They do that. He's obviously gone. Where can he go to become an offensive coordinator? In my opinion, I think he's just saving himself a year where it's like he's just becoming the offensive coordinator of a high-end school. He does well with this offense, shows that because it's all the talent's there still. They went out and got a bunch of guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're going for it this year.
Yeah.
He competes, shows what his offense is capable of with the right talent.
Mm-hmm.
He's back into another head coaching job. He's a 1-year rental at an offensive coordinator.
I don't know if it's a 1-year rental, but
It might be 1 or 2. I don't see him staying longer than 2.
I do think
If
it's a
he's
short-term
successful.
stop. I think you're right.
Yeah.
But the thing about your theory is I like a lot of it. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you this prior to us turning on the cameras and the microphones. But Chip Kelly last offseason, tried to get the Cincinnati job after Luke Fickell left for Wisconsin, which is insane.
Yeah.
That's insane to think about. Because at that time, we already knew UCLA was going to Big Ten. We already knew the money was going to be there if he kept winning. He was coming off a pretty good season. I think they won 8 games.
Yeah.
8 or 9 games. Yeah, 8 in the regular season.
And he had a high recruit and Dante Moore coming.
Yeah. And then the crazy thing is the Cincinnati AD gave the job to Scott Satterfield.
Bought out Satterfield's contract at that.
Which is just bananas.
I wonder if they didn't hire Kelly because his buyout was a lot higher.
That's probably what it is, but Jesus, man. Like, you got Satterfield. Of all coaches that you could go and just poach from someone, it's not even poaching. Like, Louisville, we just gave Scott Satterfield away. We're like, take him. We don't care.
Yeah.
Like, the reason Scott Satterfield left is because he went to the athletic director looking for an extension, and the athletic director was like, you haven't earned an extension. No, we're going to play out your contract and see if you get one.
Right.
And he wanted more security, so he left to Cincinnati when Chip Kelly was desperately trying to leave to get to Cincinnati because he just didn't want to be in UCLA. Mick Cronin in basketball, for years, it has been kind of an open secret, does not want to be in UCLA.
Who is UCLA's AD? And why is he making it a living hell for all his employees?
He's a guy who does not have great hair. That's what I remember.
Well, anyway, UCLA, as of today, has decided to hire Deshaun Foster, who is the running backs coach.
Martin Jarman, yeah, not great hair.
Who is the running backs coach for UCLA from 2017 to 2023. Also was a decent running back in the league. If you actually look up Deshaun Foster, you'll find that he's just a well-known running back, and he's basically, his whole coaching career has basically been with UCLA.
Did he play at UCLA?
I believe so.
Okay.
It is a internal hire.
I don't know if that's a great idea, honestly.
Well, I mean, like,
if
the guy
if
is,
it's this late in the season.
the guy has never been a coordinator.
Yeah, that's rough.
Not even a quarterbacks coach or anything. As a coach, he's been a student assistant in 2013, a graduate assistant in 2014-15. Went to Texas Tech for 1 year as a running backs coach. Since 2017 to 2023, he's been the running backs coach, and now he's going to be the head coach of his alma mater. It sounds like a dream hire for him. I mean, he was drafted in 2002, was a second-round pick from UCLA, and then head coach coaching. I'm looking for his playing career. Had 3,000 yards, 3,500 yards in the league.
If you scroll down, it'll have it. It was okay. So he played for like 6 seasons.
He played from 2003 to 2009. 5 of them with Carolina, 1 year with San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, this guy. It's so the thing. There was a report that UCLA reached out to Jed Fish.
Yeah.
At Washington was like, hey, you want to come here? You want to come here? And he was like, no, I don't want to go there. What are you talking about?
No.
He's got a better job.
Yeah.
I don't think
Absolutely.
Washington's going to be very good next year. As it currently stands, it doesn't look like they're going to be very good.
It's interesting because it's hard to judge how these power schools in the Pac-12 are going to gauge against this Big Ten.
I don't think the Big Ten's going to be great next year, personally.
Like as a whole?
As a whole, yeah. Like I think Oregon is going to come in. I think they're just going to run the Big Ten, year one.
Michigan's fallen off.
Ohio State's going to be really good.
Ohio State, Oregon.
I think it's them. I think it's a two-man race between Ohio State and Oregon.
I think that's a fair argument. Yeah.
As it currently stands, what is it? The 11th, February 11th,
12th.
February 12th. As it currently stands, that's who it looks like. But yeah, I don't know. This looks like it's a disaster in the waiting. But the thing about UCLA is, I think Chip Kelly left because Martin Jarman, the athletic director at UCLA, has too lofty expectations of what their program is. He fired Jim Mora Jr. When he was doing all right there. He was doing fine, and they fired him. It's like, why? You're not USC. You're not USC. You have to build to that. You can't just... You have to walk up the stairs one step at a time. You can't just get to the top. And I don't know if he realizes that, but he's definitely acting like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's making being a coach at UCLA for football specifically, I think it's making it very, very undesirable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see how that turns out. I think it's going to end disastrously for UCLA personally, but yeah. Any other news you want to talk about?
I mean, just the financials that came out for the SEC.
Yeah, I saw that. That actually wasn't as high as I thought it would be, honestly.
Well, 2022-2023 year. So this isn't last year. It was the year before.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
It's not that much higher than the ACC, which I was shocked by.
I mean, to give you an idea, they've announced $741 million in revenue is what they announced. And then the math comes out to just about each school made $1 million a week, basically.
Yeah, $51.3 million,
which
is what each school got in the SEC.
Right.
Again, that's not as much as I thought. Once their current contract runs out, they're going to be making stupid money.
It's going to be ridiculous money. Is what it is.
I mean, the Big Ten's already at like $70 million a school, which is absurd.
Yeah.
But
yeah, money's insane.
It's crazy, and they make all the money. They make all the money because people watch football there. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because they're not the only people that play sports.
No.
But anyway. All right, everybody.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we're back.
A little technical difficulties, but here we are.
Yep, we figured it out.
What we are going to do is we are going to rank these blue bloods that you see on screen right now.
Okay.
Oh, well, let's preface this. We're going to rank college programs, and we're going to decipher what are blue bloods and then what tiers of college programs there are.
So can we? Is there any way to like edit the? So it's currently it's S and then A through F.
Yeah.
A B C D F.
We won't make
we can edit it.
You want to
okay,
make
so
this
that's
blue
like
bloods?
top. Here's what I think it should be.
All right.
S is top tier blue bloods. That's like the cream of the crop.
I agree.
And then A is also blue bloods.
No.
Yes, there are blue bloods. There are levels even within blue bloods.
No, there's not.
There most certainly are.
This is where we're disagreeing. There's like, in my opinion, only like 6 blue bloods.
Okay, then wait. No, okay. Let's
Let's just rank them first. And then we can decide what to call them later.
Okay. That's okay, fine.
I don't think we're going to have any arguments on these. I want
Okay, well, let's just put top tier blue bloods at the top, and then F is absolutely not.
I think I spelled that wrong.
Who cares?
Okay.
He's got a learning disability. It's fine.
Anyway, so
if you don't want it out there in the world, we'll just cut that out.
I could care less. Anyway,
I've got one too. It's okay.
So anyway, I think we can all agree
Okay, let's go.
Okay, Duke.
Duke is a blue blood. Yes, we'll put them up there.
Yes. We've got Kansas.
I'll put them up there.
Kentucky.
Yes.
I'm going through the list. UCLA. Okay. UNC
for sure.
Yeah. We can agree on that. I think UConn is now a blue blood.
I don't think they're up with that category. No.
I think they are.
No, they're not.
How are they not?
Because all of their success is recent.
They've won 5 championships in like 24 years.
No, it has not been. Actually, no, you're right. It is 24.
Like 25 years.
No, 24. You're right. No, it's all recent though.
They've won 20% of the national championships. 25% of the national championships in the last 20.
20.
Yeah.
They won 20% of them.
That means when you enter the tournament, 1 out of 4 times, UConn's going to win it.
1 out of 5.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that they're in that same category with those 4.
Okay. Would you put any others in this 4?
Honestly, I wouldn't even put UCLA up there because of their recent, stumbles.
Right. So you want to do UCLA here.
I would put UConn there.
UConn there.
I would put IU and Louisville there. Yes, man. Yes. IU has 5 national championships. Louisville has 3 national championships, 10 Final Fours. I would put IU, Louisville, and then honestly, this is what I would do. I would put Michigan State up there.
I can understand. So, I got you. So, the only difference I would make is I'm like that.
I could not disagree more.
That's the only difference. I agree with that. I just think UConn's there.
It's not sustained. It's recent. It's recent.
Okay. Arkansas.
I see you just slightly left them up there.
Oh, okay, whatever.
They're not a blue blood.
Anyway.
And they are. I'll take that back. They are, but they're not with those 4.
So you're saying these 9 are the only blue bloods? Because, I mean, like...
Let me look at the list again.
I mean, like Villanova.
I wouldn't put Villanova in there.
Syracuse.
No, because it's been one coach.
Okay. Michigan.
No. Michigan's a good program. They're not a blue blood.
Okay. So, your next tier.
This is where I would put and feel free to. This is debate. This isn't just me ranking them.
No, I know. I'm just gonna go off of it.
Okay. Here's what I think we should do real quick. I'm gonna add a rule. I think we each get one team.
Yeah.
That it does not matter. We're putting our thumbs down. We are ranking that one team. The other can't do anything about it.
Well, can I go back and re-rank my one?
You're going to put UConn up there, aren't you?
Yes.
If that's your one team, yeah,
okay.
I'll let you do it.
That's
but I think
one. That's my one.
Just know that on a
I'm just saying that's my one.
On a spiritual level, I disagree with you.
I mean, I don't know how you can't. Okay. Anyway, that's my one.
Okay. And in a tier below, who not blue bloods, but they're still a very, very, very good program. I would put. I think
I'm going
Syracuse and Villanova for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also wanting to do I don't think it's crazy to put Michigan and Houston there.
I would put them a little bit below, honestly, but they're very good programs.
And then maybe Virginia there too.
See, Virginia's an interesting one because it's a lot of recent success, but they have been very good.
Yeah, but then also they have like a little bit of history.
Not really.
A little
Virginia,
bit.
no. Virginia's a terrible program before Tony Bennett got there.
Okay.
Tell me what you think about this. Georgetown in that B tier? Because under John Thompson, they were so good under John Thompson.
It's just given Big East bias at this point, you know what I mean? But I see it because I love
the Big
watching.
East was so good.
I know.
For so long.
I'm not saying it, but man, oh man, yeah.
I think I would put Georgetown in there. Debatably.
What about Michigan though?
I would not put them. I don't think so.
Fab Five, Final Four.
I mean, you make a good point. You make a good point.
Like they have some history, which is what you like. 90s, early 90s.
Okay. Here's what I say. Georgetown and Michigan. Thoughts?
I like that.
Okay.
And then,
Next is Houston. They're in that.
I
For
feel
me,
like-
Houston is with Michigan in that
So like,
debatably B or C tier.
let me put it this way: like, my D tier would be like your flash in the pan teams. Like
Yeah.
you have Florida in the early 2000s, UNLV in the 90s, San Francisco in like the 50s.
Oklahoma, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You have like those teams who were like,
Yeah, OSU.
yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel like we could do like the D tier, knock that out real quick.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, so
Because I think that's probably going to be pretty big.
Florida, UNLV, San Francisco,
Oklahoma State. I would put Oklahoma and Oklahoma State in absolutely not Blue Bloods.
yeah, I'm with that.
I would put LSU there as well.
Yeah,
I would put them. The lowest.
and then I don't know too much about Arkansas.
Arkansas is a good program. They have a national championship. They are a good program. They have a very loyal fan base down there.
Where would you put Virginia? Are they the same thing, flash in the pan, or is it just the
No,
same
see,
six
'cause
because
that's-
of one coach? Like, how much do you rate Tony Bennett?
Okay, then we might have to readjust our ratings here because I'm starting to think that I think Syracuse, Villanova, Georgetown above Michigan and Houston. But I also think UCLA, IU, Louisville, Michigan State above those three.
So you're saying this?
I suppose.
There's only so many tiers we can do.
I know, but then here's what I'm thinking. I think there's a separate tier among the top of the Blue Bloods and then the other Blue Bloods.
Okay.
But if we're just gonna have one Blue Bloods tier, I feel like we should just put all 9 of them in there.
No. I don't think there's 9 Blue Bloods like that. Because there's definitely a tier. These are better than these.
UConn historically, no.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying currently,
Blue
historically.
Bloods, it has to do with history. Has to be involved, man.
History is involved. It's 25 years worth.
25 years of a sport that they've been playing since the early 1900s.
Absolutely. Let's just get all of them on the board.
Yeah, okay. I would put Ohio State in that D tier.
Right.
NC State's a tricky one because they just have not lived up to their potential as a program.
I mean, like, since I've been around, they haven't been good.
They're just mediocre for the last,
Right.
they've been mediocre for so long, but they have history.
I'm here.
I think they're better than that.
Really?
Okay. I would put them at D.
I feel like they're the same as, like, LSU, though.
No. That's absolutely a better program than LSU. There's no doubt in my mind that is a better program than
I think
LSU.
if you look at, like, the stats, it'll show that they're pretty similar. Illinois is interesting. I feel like Illinois is somewhere here. Like, they're like a D plus.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would
So,
agree with that.
here, let's do this. We'll do it like that.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
That's
But then, like, Arkansas and Cincinnati.
See, Cincinnati's probably up with Michigan, Virginia, Houston.
Really?
I think so. They have history. They just have not.
Have they? I mean, Final Fours. When were their Final Fours?
I mean, it was early. It was early.
Okay.
Um,
And then Arkansas. Arkansas, I'm thinking like
Arkansas won
here.
one in the 90s.
right. I'm saying like here. I'm just gonna throw it there. And then I'm kind of like that. I think Illinois is a better program.
I don't, honestly. I don't.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Maybe put Michigan and Houston above with Syracuse, Virginia, Georgetown, so that way we can put who I think are the better programs in that D tier.
I mean, like back to back, only
Yeah,
team
back to back.
90s.
fantastic
50s.
in the 90s, fantastic in the 50s.
50s.
When they had Bill Russell, though. So.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, like...
But they're a program that very much enjoys basketball. LSU, they don't really...
I'm just saying, like...
LSU's a fair weather fan base as far as basketball goes. Ohio State, not Ohio State. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, they do like basketball there, but...
I'm kind of
it's
like...
still not as important as football. Like...
I'm kind of that.
With the majority of these, D and these bottom tier teams, I would put Indiana above. Yeah.
And then
I would put Kentucky second, personally. Okay, well, I haven't used my. You can't do it to me. You can't say no.
Throw them up there.
Screw it. Mick Cronin wants to leave UCLA for Louisville. He tried 2 years ago. He's trying now. Put him above UCLA. I think they're a better program than UConn. Historically.
So do you want them?
Yes, do it. It's our show, dang it. I don't know. How do you feel about the list?
Other than the Louisville spot, pretty decent. I would personally.
You could put them above Georgetown because
I think it's that.
So what?
I mean, I think that's pretty solid.
Here's why I get the argument for UCLA,
I mean,
IU, and Michigan State not really being up there. Not so much Michigan State actually, but UCLA and Indiana. You kind of have to do it with more than one coach.
Right.
You can't just do it with one coach and be called a blue blood. Duke's the exception because they were a really good program before Coach K got there. They just had never won the big one. And then when Coach K did get it rolling, they had just so much success.
Yeah, but what do you think about this? I think it's pretty solid.
It's a solid list, yeah.
Any other than the UConn, I mean, other than our two trumps that we use, I don't think we disagree too much with it.
No.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that A tier, I think we should rename them. I think we should rename them because I think A tier are also blue bloods.
Okay, want to do like true blue bloods?
True blue. Also blue blood. Which you didn't have to delete the A for. It's fine.
That's how I work.
I think these are great programs. These are great programs that are not blue bloods. Yeah, and then that's good programs, I think. Yeah. I'm okay with that, but I mean, the only thing I would do is I would move Louisville from the true blue bloods to the also Louisville and UConn is what I would do. Do you agree with me if both of those top two categories are blue bloods?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Then yeah, I'm okay. I really do think that there are that many blue bloods. Michigan State's debatable. I think they're up there.
But I would say Michigan State is above Syracuse, Michigan, and Villanova.
Yeah, because Villanova had their just Cinderella run in the 80s.
Right.
On that team that was coked up.
And then they had Jay Wright.
And then they had Jay Wright. So they were phenomenal under Jay Wright. Michigan has had, multiple eras where they are very good.
I'll say this. I do think Houston could, depending on what they do this year in the tournament, could move in front of Georgetown.
Yeah. Yeah, they could. Yep, that was our good old fun little.
Welcome back again. Welcome back again, guys. Another cut in the action.
A lot of welcome backs.
We're back in action. We are going to do the pick'ems now for the show.
Yes, we do them every week. Every week that there's a season going on.
And sorry about last week. We weren't able to get some of the polls up, but hey, it's okay. So
But,
here we go.
Yeah. So first game, we've got Marquette at Butler. Marquette, one of the longest winning streaks in the country.
Tyler Kolek is back. I'm telling you.
Oh, he's playing very well.
He is now.
And it's at Butler though. Ranked teams have had a ton of difficulty playing on the road this year.
Sure have. Butler's a pretty cool stadium. I'm not gonna lie. Or
I've been to a game there before.
Really? How was it?
I was very young.
Oh.
Very young. I watched Louisville lose a game there.
I actually remember that game.
Do you?
It was like one game.
I was super young.
Really?
Yeah. I think Brad Stevens was still the coach.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good old Gordon Hayward.
I'm picking Marquette. I think
same here.
They're extremely hot right now. They've got talent. Their style of play is great. Big Marquette.
Yep. All
right. UNC at Syracuse. Syracuse needs to, do a little bit to improve their resume to try and make the tournament.
This is one way to do it.
It sure is.
Do I think they'll do it? I don't think so.
I don't either. North Carolina
stumbled already.
2 weeks in a row where they've had not great losses.
They fall to Clemson?
They lost to Clemson this past week, Georgia Tech a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm picking North Carolina.
Same here. I'm picking North Carolina.
This is a fun one. This could be
be
chaos.
He wants it to go one way.
Yeah. Ole Miss at Kentucky.
If they don't win this one, it's sounding the alarm bells.
I mean, that's kind of what that was against Gonzaga, man.
Nah, I think this one is the all hell's breaking loose.
I mean, I know Ole Miss doesn't have as much talent as Gonzaga, but
no.
I'm going Ole Miss.
No, I'm going Kentucky.
I'm going Ole Miss.
They stopped the bleeding.
And it's because of the coach.
Which one?
Beard.
Okay. Oh, I forgot Chris Beard's there.
Yeah.
He got that lifeline. Yeah.
Yep. All right, next up, we've got Colorado State at San Diego State.
I like my Aztecs here.
Yeah, I'm going to take San Diego State as well. I think Colorado State's, they're good. Mm-hmm. They're well coached. They're not amazing.
Right.
I think a lot of people were very quick to anoint the Mountain West one of the top 3 conferences in basketball.
They're top 6.
Year. They're good. They are a good conference this year. The top is very good in the Mountain West.
They got like 5 programs that'll make it.
The problem is they're just good. That's kind of it.
Yeah, there's no elite program coming out of that. They're all middling, top 20, top 25, top 30s. I think they probably got 5 programs in the top 40.
They're solid.
Right.
But I'm going to go with San Diego State. New Mexico at Nevada.
Your team.
Yeah, my team.
Pointed for you. They've ever since I've given you that team,
they've sucked.
They've been sliding.
Yeah, so thanks for that one.
Sorry I didn't pick the future on it.
I wanted Marquette. I told you at the time I wanted Marquette.
Marquette's fun too. Yeah, sorry.
No, give me New Mexico. I can't pick against my Lobos.
Give me San Diego State.
Nevada. That's what we're picking.
My bad. I was looking 2 down. Oh, wait. Yeah, give me New Mexico against Nevada.
Yeah.
Oh, they got a tough week.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina.
We've got South Carolina at Auburn. That's a fun one.
It sure is.
Auburn is... Their defense is very good.
Mm-hmm.
They have a very good defense this year. Janai Broom is very good.
The guy. Yeah, he's
very
the guy.
Good.
It's interesting. It's spelled John.
It's spelled like Johnny.
Yeah, it's spelled Johnny. I thought it was Johnny. Janai.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to take South Carolina, though. I like this team a lot. They basically just took the all SoCon team and just poached them in the transfer portal. Lamont Paris he's done a fantastic job turning them around very quickly. I'm going to take it South Carolina on the road.
I'm going to lean towards Auburn on this one just because it's at Auburn.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Should be a good game, though.
They destroyed Alabama this past week.
Yep.
But next up, this is the one we were talking about earlier. South Carolina at San Diego State. No, not South Carolina. I read the wrong one. They're all blending together for me.
Sorry
New
about
Mexico. It's not your fault. New Mexico at San Diego State. Again, I can't pick against my team. Richard Pitino, man.
They got a hard week.
Give him a lifetime contract. They have a very difficult week, yeah.
So does South Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me South Dakota State again.
I'm going to take New Mexico. Can't pick them against them.
Yeah.
Can't pick against them. Next, we got Texas Tech at Iowa State.
Texas Tech has been sliding. It's kind of weird. And then
they're okay. I think they were overrated.
Right. And then Ohio State's the 2 seed right now in the Big 12.
Iowa State.
Yep. Didn't know what I said, but okay. I'm going Ohio State.
Iowa State.
Ohio. Why am I saying Ohio?
Because they're very close.
Iowa State. Oh my.
I'm going Iowa State, too. It's Hilton Magic. You can't beat them there. Iowa State.
Texas A&M at Alabama.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That is a very interesting
This is going to be
matchup.
an NBA scoring game.
Yeah.
This is just going to be offense.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Alabama. I think in a shootout, it's hard to beat them.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really good offense. Yeah.
Yeah, so give me the Tide.
Absolutely.
Next, we got Texas at Houston.
This game last time went into overtime in Texas.
Yeah, and I don't think this is going to be close.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think Houston's just going to roll.
I don't understand what it is about Houston on the road versus at home, but at home it's a fortress for them.
I mean, it's like any team in college basketball. If you go back, you look at the best teams, like the teams that have won the national championship, their records home and away are vastly different.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we've got Wisconsin at Iowa.
Who has been slipping? Wisconsin.
Oh, they lost 4 in a row.
They are struggling right now.
I can tell you, they're out of my top 25.
Yeah, I don't think I put them in mine either.
Yeah.
Do they come back against a mediocre Iowa team or average Iowa team? Mediocre sounds
And
mean.
they're not that good. I'm gonna go with Wisconsin.
I think they'll bounce back too.
Yeah, their backs are against the wall a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good one.
This is a fun one.
Fun matchup. Marquette at UConn. This is probably the game of the week.
1,000%. Looking at it, yep, I've decided.
Yeah.
You could maybe make an argument for Iowa State at Houston, but 1 versus 2
Yeah.
in the Big 12. But we got 1 versus 2 in the Big East. We've already named it.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick UConn because it's at UConn. I know Marquette has been just rolling recently.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to go Marquette.
I don't hate the pick.
I don't think it'll happen, but I'm going to have fun with it.
I would love it if it did. Just because Marquette's fun. They're
Marquette
a
is
fun team to watch.
Absolutely.
All right. Next up, Kansas at Oklahoma.
I feel like Oklahoma you could group in that category with Texas Tech of being a little bit overrated because of the conference they're in.
And they had a very easy non-conference schedule. You know, they got a lot. They piled up some wins non-conference.
Undefeated for a good bit.
They definitely stumbled there for a little bit. I think they've righted the ship. You know, they haven't lost in a little bit.
Right. They're on like that 6. They're like on like 7 to 10 seed in the Big 12 right now, somewhere around there.
Yeah. I'm still gonna go with Kansas.
I am too.
Yeah. Next up, we got Illinois at Maryland.
I don't think this one's gonna be close. I forget why I added it, but I'm going Illinois.
I think it'll be close.
I think Maryland's historically has a decent program, but
They do. Yeah, they have a championship.
I'm still Illinois. I don't think Maryland's a tournament team this year.
I agree with you. I'm gonna go with Illinois. Yeah, I don't think there's much to it. I don't love Illinois this year. I really don't.
I don't either. I mean, outside of Purdue, there's not a team in the Big 10 that excites me.
I like Northwestern. I've been on Northwestern all year. I'm very high on Northwestern, but yeah, no, the Big 10 is basically Purdue and everyone else.
Yep.
Next up, we have Utah State at Colorado State.
Utah State's just been able to win games for some reason. I don't know what they're doing. I don't like ranking them, and I still don't want to rank them because I just don't think they're that good. But they find ways to win, so I'm going to go Utah State.
Yeah, I mean they lost this past week, I think.
Right.
But no, they do not have a lot of losses on their.
I think they have like 4.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4. It's not a lot. I'm gonna go Colorado State.
Going with Isaiah Stevens.
Yeah. Next up, we have Kentucky at Auburn. I'm taking Auburn.
Yeah, I'm taking Auburn.
Yeah, I mean Auburn plays defense, and then it doesn't matter how good your offense is. You are going to score against Kentucky.
Yeah.
Unless you're Arkansas.
I mean, like it'd be interesting to see because Alabama was able to put up points at Alabama against Auburn, but then again, the vice versa was the exact opposite when they went to Auburn. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch that game, Alabama kind of shot themselves out of that game. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of it's what you take with Nate Oates sometimes. Mm-hmm. He's a great coach. It's fun to watch, but sometimes you just shoot yourself out of a game. Finally, last one.
We've got 1 versus 2.
Yeah, we've got Iowa State at Houston.
Shout out to Iowa State.
This is a fun game.
It is. Two very good defensive teams.
Mm-hmm.
Houston has struggled to win games against good defensive teams this year. They've already lost to Iowa State at Iowa State this year.
Yeah.
They've lost to Kansas at Kansas. They have struggled big time when it comes to very good defensive teams. Even though they are one of the best defensive teams in the nation, their offense, if it does not run through Jamal Shead very well or LJ Cryer, they are struggling.
Yeah.
With that all being said, I'm going to go Iowa State to give Houston a loss at home.
I'm going to take Houston, and it's because it's at Houston. I think they're going to get revenge. I think the reason that they lost to Kansas and Iowa State is more so to do with the fact that they were on the road, not necessarily just the defensive team that they were playing. They played Texas close on the road.
Yeah.
But they beat them. They're at Houston. I think that's going to give them the edge, and I think they're going to win.
All right.
I think it's going to be close, though. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That is it.
That's all she wrote.
Forgot to get to it, but our top 25 for baseball was out.
It sure is.
Because baseball is about to start this week.
Yep.
So it'll be like basketball with football. We'll talk about that more when baseball season gets into gear. But for now, that's it. That's the show. Thank you for watching.
Absolutely.